In the heart of Irish Hills, where summer traffic rolls past lakes, roadside attractions, and memories of old Michigan family vacations, there is a site in Manitou Beach that still makes people slow down, smile, and stare twice. Parked beneath the trees sits a yellow banana, not a prop, not a parade float, a street legal automobile. Its owner, Steve Braithwaite, says it's hard to believe, but yeah.
This used to be a 1993 Ford pickup truck.
Braithwaite, a longtime builder and hot rod enthusiast whose fascination started young.
I'm a hot rodder. When I was 16 years old, I saw the movie American Graffiti, fell in love with American hot rod cars, and then in England, we were trying to build American hot rod style cars with the stuff that we could find. But
Years later, after moving to the United States, inspiration struck from an unlikely source.
carried on building hot rods as a hobby. And then one day I saw an episode of the British version of Top Gear. And on it, they had two crazy cars, the world's fastest garden shed, a fully street legal garden shed, and a couch. Guy was just sitting driving around on a couch.
That led to a simple question.
So I thought, what can I build that's utterly ridiculous? And for a month, everything I looked at, can I turn that into a car? My drill driver, can I turn that into a car? My girlfriend's hairdryer, can I turn that into a car?
The answer arrived at a gas station in Michigan.
Eventually, one day, I'm standing in line in a gas station, actually in Mount Orion, Michigan, and right next to me was a bowl of fruit, and on top was a banana exactly this shape. I've always thought of bananas as that boomerang shape, which wouldn't work because you wouldn't see the road ahead. Yep. But I realized that, wait a minute, half of them curve at the back and then just run pretty straight. So I picked this up and I'm studying it from every angle, thinking, the wheels that go there, the windshield, the bumpers.
After reviewing the banana the same way an engineer reviews blueprints, he became so focused he says the line moved without him noticing.
And I was so engrossed in this, I didn't realize the line ahead of me had cleared. I'm standing in the middle of this gas station with a line of people behind me, staring at a banana. They almost have thought, oh my God, is that the first banana he's ever seen? The lady directly behind me had to tap me on the shoulder.
Then came the decision.
I thought, right, that's what I'm going to do. And I have some credos that I live by. And one of them is actually words to not live by. And it's, after all is said and done, there'll be a lot more said than done. And we're all that person. But when I decided, okay, I'm going to build a banana car, that was constantly in my head. You're not going to be a guy that just talks about it, Steve. You're going to do this.
Work began in late 2008, mostly Sundays, some weeknights. By spring of 2011, the banana car was on the road. Now, what might have been a garage joke has become a rolling landmark.
The reception this car gets has just blown me away. I realized people would smile and wave, but it's incredible. It's the best thing in the world. I now tell people, do something ridiculous and be proud of it, but it's got to be a nice ridiculous.
Braithwaite says the banana car has traveled across most of the lower 48 states, but the project was always bigger than America.
I thought I was building something that would spend most of its life parked alongside my garage, and I might drive it 2 or 3 times a year in parades.
Yeah.
But I've driven it all over the US. Of the lower 48, the only states I haven't yet been to are Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Washington, Oregon, Idaho. I tell people quite a few years ago now, I did a silly thing. I rode a motorcycle across India. I wasn't expecting to. I was just backpacking in India. I kept seeing these old British vintage, what I thought were vintage English motorcycles.
Yeah.
And I got talking to these 4 Westerners pulled into the parking lot of the hotel I was staying at in Kathmandu, and I got chatting to them, and they said, no, they're not old at all. They're brand new. There's a factory in Madras that, as I'm speaking now, is still making this vintage British motorcycle. As soon as I heard that, I had to have one. I was with 2 of my sisters, one of whom had never even sat on a motorcycle, but we each bought a bike, a motorcycle, an Enfield, Royal Enfield, but they dropped the Royal. Okay. And my one sister learned to ride it in the middle of New Delhi, and we just rode across India. And that gave me such a taste for that third world adventure travel the sort of plan with the banana car was A, build a huge motorized banana, done that. B, drive it around the world. That is my goal.
That dream recently reached Mexico, though border officials reportedly needed time to process exactly what was arriving.
I spent 6 hours this year just recently trying to get into Mexico. 6 hours I was at the border. They were talking, they were on the phone to
They probably
Mexico.
didn't know what to do with it.
Exactly, yeah. They were on the phone to Mexico City for most of that time. Listen, we got a banana that wants to come in. And but eventually they let me in.
That is awesome.
And that was, so I was just 3 days in Mexico, and it was fantastic.
Back in Manitou Beach, with the Irish Hills breeze moving through the trees and traffic drifting past US 12, the banana car rests for now, but probably not for long.
So that's the plan. It's I call my travels "The World Needs More Whimsy Grand Tour," and I think the world needs more whimsy.
And judging by the reactions it gets here in Lenawee County and beyond, many, I think, would agree. I'm Brian Vish reporting for WLEN, Lenawee's local news station.